All right, so let's start. Let's start. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Share screen, PowerPoint. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna go to. Let me move the chat and the participants list. Now, from now I'm recording. Okay, for the others who are not there, I didn't record the review of the book. I forgot. Okay, let's get a pen. Let's get a marker. Let's get the tools I need.
Sir?
Yes.
We need to create this type of chart in our presentation, or in
No,
the
no. I did put this on the group on the TAV Facebook page. Did I? I think I did.
Yes, sir.
I did. Okay, so this is a review. This course is about understanding the transaction. As a matter of fact, this is the result of your semester's work. It's based on this. You, in your semester's work, and I try to make it as simple as possible, okay? You have to demonstrate to me that you can cover this in order to go from the that's what I wanted. Pointer au laser, stylet, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Let me get back to this. Up. Ah, this is what I mean. Pointer au laser. There you go. You following? Oh, no, you're not following anything. You see my red dot? Yes? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So we want to go from manufacturing something to delivering to the buyer. This is your semester's work. You have to demonstrate that this is possible. Maybe I'll take the pen, like this in red. So what we want to do is we want to prove that this can be done. This is your semester's work. That's all there is to do. This. If the product manufacturer will fit the buyer's need. So the person in the group who's responsible for the product has to look if it's possible. It's very simple. We've discovered last semester that Indians drink wine. They produce wine. Wine is a growing market in India, in some provinces, not everywhere. Okay, so it's a simple thing. Show to me that the product is manageable and it's possible to import it. Okay, then erase gum, poof, 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 and there you go. Again. Now, let's have a look on the day you receive an order. Somebody says, I want to buy a container of bottle of wine or a pallet of bottle of wine. Okay? To the moment the merchandise will be delivered to your client at the other end of the spectrum. What happens in between is all these different things. We're going to look at logistic aspect, production side of it, and the financial side of it. Can you stay? Can I see you? Can you keep your camera on so I can see if you're listening to me? Yeah, please stay with me. I like to see that you're there. I feel comfortable. If I don't see you, I have no clue. And I feel like I'm talking to nobody. Okay, because you don't see me, but I see you.
Actually, sir, I'm going to Walmart.
You are. Interesting.
Yeah.
So let me erase a little something here. I'm going to take this away. Gum. Now, let's go back and talk about the production aspect of this. Okay? You receive an order. So normally, what you receive is a communication in the form of an email. You receive a purchase order, a document. The title on top says purchase order. Okay, 8 pallets of 55 cartons of 12 bottles of 755 millimeters of Ontario red wine, label the Rainbow of Ontario, produced by the rainbow producers of Niagara Valley, production 2018, etc. Detail. With a description in terms of transportation. So Incoterm 2020 CIF, Port of Mumbai, maybe the address of the warehouse, maybe before August 15, 2020, at the price of $6.50 per bottles, for a total of so many bottles, such a price, US dollars, Canadian dollars, euro, whatever it is, something like this, okay? Payment terms, site letter of credit, or maybe 50% down upon order, 50% on a site letter of credit, or any other types of payment terms that you can dream of. There's no difficulty. Okay? Let's go back to my screen. So you receive a purchase order. From there, you look at the level of emergency. Do I have the material in stock? Do I have to produce it now or later? That's the emergency level. You need to know, as a producer, you have to check to be sure that you understand the documents that are required to ship the wine to India. So what does India need in terms of documents? So part of your team should have looked at the regulation in India, and we showed you the customs website, and it's on the TAV group on Facebook. I gave you the link, it's there. So you can go to the India customs and verify with the HS code of the product. We did this in class together, right? So you find what is needed in terms of document for importing wine. There will be needed a certificate of origin, there's no doubt. A commercial invoice, there's no doubt. Maybe a custom invoice, I'm not sure. maybe some sort of a health certificate or something stating that the wine in the bottle or edible for the human, something like this. At least this, maybe more. I don't know. Maybe a listing certificate, maybe an inspection certificate by a third party. Maybe all the, so you have to verify this. I remember when I used to work in trading houses, that part, my boss would ask me, what documents do you need? And I would say, oh, I need this, this, and that. And she would say, how do you know? I would say, the buyer told me. She says, the buyer told you. Why don't you check with the health agency of the country? What? But the buyer told me. He says, no, 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 no. It's my money on the water. So you check twice to be sure you don't make any mistakes, right? Because if you make a mistake, it's my money. It's not your money. So verify with the government agency that gets the goods. Verify. The buyer told you one thing. See, if he forgot and there's a document missing, I, the exporter, will have to pay. And a premium, a fine, a penalty, demurrage charges, whatever. No, 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 no. So check twice. Always check twice. Okay? So verify the document. In the same time, you talk with the freight forwarding agency and you ask them, what kind of insurance do I need? How much does it cost? Insurance is not expensive. And I gave you on the TAV group on Facebook a link so you can have fees, rates for insurance coverage. So go there and put it in your semester's work, okay? And you select the transportation mode and you need an estimate. Again, I put you the necessary links. I need something for the throat. Just give me 1 second. I need something for the throat.
Next week exam.
पर मारो
हाँ बोल क्या हुआ?
क्या हो रहा है
बस धूप में
की कहता यार एग्जाम है क्या थोड़े दिनों तक?
अगले हफ्ते यार अगले हफ्ते है
अगले हफ्ते
हाँ ना
चल गोडा गोडा चल रहा हूं ओपन बुक की टेस्ट
सारा कुछ ओपन है
अच्छा तो होर कोई प्रेजेंटेशन वगैरह तो नहीं करनी अब?
Quiet! Quiet!
है वही प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं करनी कोई?
Yes sir. We are discussing about the exam.
Okay, good. So, selecting the transportation mode. So you're gonna go, if you go to India with the wine, you're gonna go maritime. I put on the TAV group on Facebook where you can get quotation. I know it's not the best price. We're not looking for the best price. We're not shipping. We just want to have an idea, okay? If we would be in the States to really ship, then when we get the contract, we'll get, obviously we would talk to the freight forwarding company and we would get the price down. We'd call and we say, this is the first container, but we're opening the door. We'll be doing 10 containers this year. Give me a better price. And we'd get some sort of rebate to work with. Maybe you accept it on the first counter offer, but you're Indian, you're a good negotiator. You would argue 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you know, making sure that the price drops, and the price would drop. The thing with Canadians, French Canadians, is they don't negotiate. You tell them this is $10, they will pay. You would never pay $10. You would say, but I don't have $10. No, I'm going to give you 4. You know, and I would say, well, you're crazy. and then we're going to argue, discuss, and you're going to walk away paying only $6 or $7. The Canadian, the white skin with the blue eyes would pay $10 without blinking. I don't know. So traders know how to negotiate, okay? At the same time, you would validate that the client has the proper credit. Now, proper credit, that doesn't mean that you go to a credit agency. It means, and I mentioned this before, that could be a good question in the exam. If you look at EDC, if you are an EDC customer, before you insure a customer, his receivables, you would ask EDC, can I insure Chennai wine importers for $100,000 Canadian for 90 days? Okay? There's a special platform for the users of EDC inside the website, not available for the visitors. And you could ask there and you get an answer within minutes. Within minutes, I mean like 120 seconds. The answer would be yes, no, or maybe. Yes, it means EDC would take the risk. That means that the group that you're trying to sell to is well noted in the credit agencies of the world, like Dun & Bradstreet and some other places, okay? Or it's badly placed because they're bad payers. Or they have no information and they would ask for more information. It could be one of the three. But very often, you'd be surprised, they have the information, recent, available online. They pay a fortune yearly to have access to these database of precious information. They won't give you the information. They would say, we take the risk or we don't take the risk. If they tell you they take the risk, you know that your buyer is solvent. You can trust somehow. That doesn't mean you give him credit. It means you could. That means you can insure the receivable, but you're gonna ask to be paid upfront first anyway. Always do. Right? You want to buy a container of wine, it's worth $100,000. I need $100,000 before I prepare it for you. Now, normally they should say, I'm not going to give you $100,000 up front because you're going to take my $100,000 and you're just going to skip to the beach of Costa Rica with my money and you'll never reappear. It could be possible. Now, if your company has been in business for 20 years, and it's solvent and it can be verified, people would trust you better. Okay? So you have to be a solvent supplier like they have to be a solvent buyer at the same time. Good. So you have to check if the client is reliable. Let's share the screen again. Back and forth on sharing the screen. Now, from that point on, you want to understand your financing requirement, your production requirement, and you will produce the pro forma invoice. Remember, you receive here, hold on, let me see. Can I do this? No, yes. You received here what we call a purchase order, a PO with a number, purchase order, okay? Now you're gonna prepare a pro forma invoice because you revise the transportation and its cost. You revise the financing requirement now that you know the evaluation of your client. So you will want, for this case, a letter of credit, LC, right? And the LC needs some documents that are clearly stated here that would be needed to do the exchange on the letter of credit. It's all interrelated, okay? So a pro forma invoice, the pro forma invoice is not the final invoice. A pro forma invoice is what the invoice will look like at the end. So normally it should be same thing as the invoice, but instead it would be pro forma invoice number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. which when it's the document that will go with the shipping, when it's time for the shipping, it will be the same document without the pro forma sent. So when you send to the buyer the final clear offer for his acceptance or a signed purchase order. He sent to you a purchase order. He proposed to you, according to the discussion that you had in your negotiation, he come up with his purchase order. He's buying according to these standards. If you agree, you sign the purchase order. That's a binding contract. That's what it is. Okay? Once you, so it's firm. You cannot change. This is it. Capital I, capital T. It's a contract. Okay? So you send it back to them, and it's the confirmation for the order. And you send it with the pro forma invoice to tell them this is exactly what it's going to cost. Maybe there could be some minor changes, but that's what it is. Okay? And with this, the buyer normally will open the letter of credit. So I'll go back to my PowerPoint. Right? I will erase a few things. Otherwise, we won't know where we go. There you go. Okay. Now, you've sent the pro forma invoice that follows the PO that was sent to you. You signed it, and this becomes your order confirmation. Your client will open the letter of credit according to the condition of these documents. So the emitting bank, that's this one from the buyer, will open the letter of credit in your favor according to the documents required, the shipping required, the terms of payment, they confirm everything. Okay? So your bank will tell you the letter of credit is in. We have received it. Verify. So you check that the condition that you ask are exactly the condition in the letter that you have received. It's very important. So it goes from their bank to your bank. They will show you the text. You have to be very, very careful that the text corresponds to what you wanted. You have to be very, very suspicious of every detail. Okay? So when this is done, let me make some space. Okay, once this is done, you can start producing or packing or putting on pallets, preparing the shipment according to the specification on the purchase order. And then you confirm with the freight forwarder the vessel that will ship. So normally when you book a container, the shipping company will tell you, you will be sailing on Maersk Endeavor voyage number, and it will be in the year time. That vessel does back and forth the same destination all the time, right? So it goes from, let's say, the port of Montreal, the port of Toronto, to the port of Bremerhaven, and from Bremerhaven to Mumbai, going around Canal de Suez and everything else. Something like, I'm making this up. I don't know what the route is. But that vessel would go to one destination. Maybe it will go another vessel somewhere else. It could ship from Toronto to Marseille, and from Marseille to Mumbai. It could, whatever. But you shouldn't know this. What are the vessel, or what is the vessel? And the voyage is the number, the voyage number 36 is the second half of June shipping. Second half, between the 15th of June and after. Second half of June. First half of June, between the 1st and the 15th. Okay? These are technical language that are used. So normally, if I'm shipping from here to France, it would be Montreal to Marseille. It would go with Maersk Endeavour, and the vessel goes back and forth every 15 days, 20 days. So every 20 days, the first 20 days of the year, January 1st to January 3rd, 20th, that's voyage number 1. From the 20th to the February 10th, that's voyage number 2, and so on all year round. So I know which vessel it will be on, okay? Vessel confirmation. This could be changed, it could be delayed, it could take the next vessel because one vessel is full, but normally it's well scheduled. But understand this, with all this COVID situation, many people missed their vessel. Some vessels did not sail because the product that was supposed to go in there did not, because they didn't reach the port in time. And the vessel stopped. And the vessel is making money when he's sailing, not when he stopped. Okay? So this COVID is a catastrophe for international trade. It will take months, maybe years, for international trade to recover from this. Anyway, this said, I try to make it as nourishing as possible for you. Such an example. Okay? So now that you're producing properly, you know how many pallets are ready, how many cartons, how many bottles, serial number of the product, whatever it is. Like I said maybe last week, if you're producing beef quarters, there's no one beef quarter with the same weight. So each box will have a different number and a different weight in each box. A packing list is very important. Now, in a container of red wine bottle, a packing list is not, if it's the same wine in all the bottles, a packing list will be very simple. 10 pallets, 255 carton each of 12 bottles of red wine. But if there's a red wine, one quality, quality A, quality B, and white wine, quality A, quality B, and rosé wine, quality A, quality B, a packing list is important because you want to know which cases on which pallet have the product red, rosé, or white, quality A, quality B. Okay? So a packing list is important, packing list. A commercial invoice, so it's your pro forma invoice. Without the pro forma, it should be the same. Maybe a little difference. For example, if you're producing beef quarters, you propose to sell 42,000 pounds of beef, but once it's packed and the container is full, there is 41,782 pounds, or 42,016 pounds, because it's uneven material, okay? So you have to redo the packing, you do the packing list, and the quality inspection certification should be done, okay? Maybe with the shipping company, you have an insurance certificate if you're in charge of insurance, right? And you are ready for loading the container for shipping, okay? So documents is one thing. So you prepare all the documents that will go, and then your product is available for shipping. Now, when we talk shipping, we mentioned this. You produce, you're in Ontario, you're wine producer, the shipping line will send a container to your premises so you can fill it up. That's what Incoterm is that? Hello? Yeah, you're not listening. The shipping line is sending a container to your warehouse for you to load it. What Incoterm is that? Wow. I'm gonna cry. Now, if you bring the container and put it on the truck in a warehouse nearby, that's an FCA. You make me work hard. You have to clearly understand this, okay? But that's chat story. What? Okay. Now, let's share the screen again. Let me erase all this as we go to the next step. Now, you are ready for shipping. The container line has brought the container to your place. You filled it up, they close it, they put the lock on it, and they put a seal that has a number. This seal number will be written on the documents, the commercial invoice, the certificate of origin, the packing list, and on the main shipping document. What is the main shipping document? What is the main shipping document? The document that gives you title to the goods that's in the container. I've mentioned this many times. So did Sylvain. What's the name of that document? These are questions for the exam. What is the name of that document?
Bill of lading?
Yes, sir! Don't do the exam, you pass. You're okay. Thank you. I'm kidding. But that's the right answer. Okay? The bill of lading. And I told you the story, the Phoenicians with the wax tablet, remember? And Mustafa giving the jars of olive oil to Ibrahim, and he's shipping alongside the coast. I told you the whole story about this. So this bill of lading is the wax tablet of the Phoenicians. Today, it's an electronic document, but it will bear the seal number on the container. It will have the container number, because all containers in the world have a serial number. So the shipping company will tell you your container FCUW 365478ZZZZZ whatever, with seal number ABC 123456778, shipping on Maersk Endeavour voyage number 33 on second half of June, holding it inside 10 pallets of 250 cartons of 12 bottles of red wine each, produced by Rainbow Niagara Wine Producer, Ontario, Canada. Production 2018, something like this. Okay, all these details will be on the bill of lading, the commercial invoice, everywhere. Let's go back. Shipping. You will be able to get the certificate of origin. Normally, it's delivered by the local Chamber of Commerce. So you're shipping from Toronto. The shipping line can do this for you. The packer in Ontario could do this for you. You don't have to go to the Toronto Chamber of Commerce, but they would get the certificate of origin. There's a small fee for this, $40, $20, $50, whatever it is, a certain amount. The container would be delivered to the port for shipping, right? Like I said, it's sealed with a number, right? And you get a way bill that is done. It's loaded on the vessel, and then it sails. It goes on the ocean to go to your client, right? Now, all these documents, these, and this one. Let me erase the other ones so you don't get confused. Okay. All these documents are needed for a few things. Custom clearance at delivery, and for the bank, for the letter of credit. No documents, no payment, no documents, no customs. You're not going into the country. Documents are vital. Okay? So the vessel shipped, the documents are shipped to the bank. The bank will verify that the documents are according to what is stated in the letter of credit. If it is, they will give the documents to the buyer, and they will send, according to the condition, the payment terms on the letter of credit, they will send the money. Maybe the vessel is not there yet. If it's a site LC, the boat has not arrived. The money is already back towards Canada. Now, if it's a LC with, for example, payable 45 days after the date on the bill of lading, that could be one condition. A site LC, the documents are presented at the bank. Site LC, the documents are presented at the bank. The bank sees the documents, they say it's okay, they pay. They have to pay right away. When they see it, site LC, I look at the documents, they're okay, I pay. Now, the bank will look very closely to find mistakes. 92% of the time when there's a delay, it's because there's a mistake. Maybe there's a comma at the wrong place. Maybe the quantity said 42,000 pounds, and there's 41,999 pounds. That is not 42,000 pounds. So normally when these documents and the letter of credit, we say 42,000 pounds plus or minus 5%. So you're allowed a little bit of balance. If not, because you're inexperienced, you put 42,000 pounds, you didn't check with the bank, and there's 41,999 pounds and a half, the bank will not pay. They will say it's not 42,000 pounds unless the buyer and the seller agrees. But every mistake they find and they ask you to accept the mistake, they charge you $50. One mistake, $50. 10 mistake, $500. They make a lot of money with mistakes. 20 mistakes, $1,000. Hallelujah. Otherwise, you don't get your documents.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Who find those mistakes? I didn't get it.
the bank, the buyer's bank. They will look for mistakes. It's called, in the banking language, discrepancies. So from the original request to the document showed, it shows discrepancies, differences. Okay? It could be minor discrepancies. But the bank, they look for discrepancies. They make money from this. The bank don't take any risk. If it says 42,000 pounds and it's not exactly 42,000 pounds on the documents, they're not going to weight the goods. They're going to look at the documents only. Maybe the container is empty, but they will look at the documents. That's all they do. Okay? So it has to be perfect. It's a profession. I'm not good at documents. I don't see mistakes. I don't see discrepancies. I'm too disorganized to do this. But I usually, when I used to do the coffee business, I had somebody with a mind of an accountant who would look for these details to be sure it would be 110% perfect. Not 100%, 110, to be sure that it's more than perfect. Let's share the screen again. We're nearing the end of that part. Okay? So now, I erase again. Boom. Okay, so documents were sent. Money is on his way to your bank or is already in your bank, right? The buyer has received the documents from the bank. They present the document with their custom broker, right? Or their transit operator locally. The transit company will clear customs, will clear inspection. It's a edible item, has to be verified to be sure it's not gasoline or antifreeze or it's really wine, right? Then it's available for delivery to the client. Okay, there will be a reception of the merchandise and the deal is done. So your semester's work is this. This is it. You have to tell us, how does this happen? Simple. Product, market, transportation, payments, managing risks, and maybe a little bit of a marketing in between to see how you're going to propose it. Especially important with our friends with the fur who wants to sell fur coats online. They won't have letter of credit. They will do Visa, MasterCard, PayPal with an online catalog. Product maybe over there, something like this. So that's what it, this is the course. This is all of it. This is it. How comfortable are you with this? Parbar goes yes. Shukman doesn't do much, and the others they are. Vishal's back. Hello, how are you? Just there, huh? Sometimes watching TV, chatting with your buddies.
No, I'm here, sir.
You're on your telephone looking at whatever, girlfriends. I can't wait to go back to class. All right, so you should now understand the whole basic of the international trade. That's based on, this is the base of one transaction. Now the thing is, if it goes well once with the buyer, you should repeat. The money is made on the repetition of the business. Shipping once, there's no money. Shipping 10 times? Yeah. Shipping 100 times? Yeah. That's what it is. So if you open the route for the bottles of wine, you may work for a year or two before you ship. And the first year after that, you're going to ship a little. The year after that, you're going to ship a little more. And then the third year, which is the fourth or the fifth year where you're working on it, it's going to go woo like this. And this is when the money starts going in. And then you can change your junk car all rusted for something almost new. So you're doing better. 5 years. Okay? 5 years. In the meantime, you may have to work at Walmart a little bit longer than you expected.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, just let me finish this. The first few years as a trader on my own, I used to work in restaurants at night. So I'm Mr. President all day with my company. My employee, I pay my employee. But at the end of the week, they have money for them, no money for me. So I would 5 o'clock, 5:36, I would leave the office. Then I would take the metro. Then I would work in an Italian restaurant for baptisms and banquets and that kind of stuff. Paid cash under the table and tips in my pocket, right? So I'm Mr. President all day and I'm your waiter in the evening. I was so afraid that one of my clients would walk in the restaurant one evening and see me there and say, "What the fuck are you doing here? Sorry for my language. What the hell are you doing here?" Huh? It never happened. Still. You had a question, Parma.
Sir, like me and my friend, like my roommates are talking about the international trade, okay, like in general topic yesterday. So we are thinking to bring something from here to in Montreal, in the Canada, okay. So it's like I'm asking for the general questions. It's like what procedure we need to follow, like to go with the research and identify the target market, and it's like that going on, or how it is work if we are assuming that bring something or bring some market that is available in the India, okay, like the we can talk it about the masalas, okay, like the garam masalas we are using, okay, it is not available in Canada. So okay, if
Yes,
we are,
it is.
so if
I have garam masala in my cupboard.
yeah, it's from India, but it's not available. The Indian local brand, it's not available in the Canada. So if we are bringing those brands from India to Montreal, so like which process, like which basic process we need to follow, not how it is work.
This is an extra questions. You go to TFO Canada website. You register for free, right? And from there, you will get services for foreign suppliers. Assessing export readiness, export planning, resources, Canadian tariffs, Canadian market overview for your spices, market information paper, the needed certification right there, the trade shows for your product, the daily wholesale retail market price. There's a book on importing in Canada for free that you download. Importing source of assistance, a practical guide for new SMEs importers. For free? For free. For free. Everything is there. Okay? And you can tell them, share them your project. They will help you for free. You like free, eh? Free is good? Free is okay.
Yes, sir.
Free is okay. Okay.
Present them like a good presentations. Okay, whichever project, like it's not, it's only about the garam masalas. It's the whichever products we have to need to import from India or whichever country. So we need to present the good presentations to the related to the governments, right? Canadian governments, and they will help with the import.
They will show you exactly where and how to go about this. The whole thing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Very good. Okay. You want a little break? Huh? Okay. So we take 15, 20 minutes, 20 minutes until 10 past 6.
30 minutes, sir.
Yeah, 20. Okay. Until 10 past 6. Then I have a video for you. Okay. See you then.